everyone, it's Sal, Stretford Post. How you're doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. I hope you all can hear me nice and clearly, guys. Sorry about the different of locations. I've been running around all morning, guys, of course, keeping myself busy, of course, guys. I hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all doing fine. Welcome to the stream, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Please don't forget to smash a like on the video. If you guys can do that for me, they're absolutely fantastic, guys. In my elements, of course, guys. No lighting now, no strobe lighting, no nothing, no smoke and mirrors. Here is me. There you go, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. And it's been a fantastic how long has it been? A few hours. It's been fantastic, in my opinion. I think nearly 24 hours, isn't it, since we defeated Crystal Palace. I mean, look, a lot of people have been very negative before the game. Of course, I've had people on my comments and my messages saying I'm delusional that we're going to beat Crystal Palace. Well, here we are again. Does remind me, it's a little bit of a duplicate of the Liverpool game, isn't it, guys? It really is. And what I would say is that with Man United, guys, you never know. You never know with Man United. And to be honest with you, you have to be positive right now. I've seen it all at Man United. I've seen us win Champions Leagues in the last minute, 2 goals in the last minute. So I'm never going to be pessimistic in regards to this football club. Never am I going to be pessimistic because I've seen it all. We won it all. I've seen it all, and I'm happy, that we won the game yesterday. I'm delighted, and there's lots of people been a little bit pessimistic. Of course, some people are going to look at Man United yesterday and say that it's not sustainable. We can't play like this, guys. You've got to remember that Crystal Palace have not lost at Selhurst Park since February. Right? They haven't lost there. So they've beaten the likes of Liverpool there, so they've been unbeaten there, and including against teams like Arsenal. So, guys, to win at Selhurst Park is no mean feat. And we have to applaud that. We're looking at Man United right now. We're looking at improvements. And in regards to improvements, I like to have my glass half full in regards to improvements. And I look at Man United and I think we won at Anfield, first win at Anfield since 2016. We've won at Selhurst Park, first win at Selhurst Park since 2020. So, guys, look, you've got to be a little bit positive sometimes, you know what I mean? Smile while you still have teeth. Trust me, guys, absolutely. And thank you, guys, for joining me. I hope you're all doing well anyway. Don't forget to smash the like on the video, guys. Very, very important, of course. So, look, I look at it and I say the first half performance was abysmal. I know. You don't need to tell me that. But when you're looking at things in an objective point of view and you're looking at things in a little tiny bit of a positive point of view, you look at it and you think their penalty was a fluke. It was a fluke. I mean, I've seen penalties been withdrawn for double touches on the ball. I've seen it in Europe. I've seen penalties withdrawn. And also, you're looking at the way the penalty was given, it was an accident. Whatever happened, guys, to accidental foul? What happened to accidental foul? What happened there? I don't understand it. I thought accidents are not a foul. It's an accident. It wasn't a foul. And they got their penalty, they got their stroke of luck, but we still came through that. And we have to look at things in a much more brighter sort of way, because I know it's difficult to obviously look at it when you're looking at the first half performances. Some of those performances were abysmal. Of course they were, but I'm not going to moan about it. I'm happy about it. I'm delighted about it. And I'm delighted Man United got the win, of course. And it does add a little bit more frustration to me that we didn't beat Everton. The fact that we didn't beat Everton annoys me even more, because we would have been way up there in the league, And Everton is, as we saw against Newcastle, are a team that, we should be beating. And this makes me look at the West Ham game and thinking, right, okay, this West Ham game is a duplicate of what happened against Everton. It's a duplicate of what happened to Everton. This West Ham game is a test again, because it's going to change the narrative that, we only play when the pressure is on. You know what I mean? When the pressure is off, Man United tend not to play, which is weird. It should really be the other way around. But, hopefully we'll beat West Ham. West Ham were, again, rubbish yesterday against Liverpool. Of course, who loses to Liverpool these days? Liverpool are irrelevant. So who loses to Liverpool these days? I don't know, guys. But, yeah, look, at the end of the day, look, West Ham game next, Thursday. Weird kickoff, of course. So, look, I'm looking forward to that, because it's going to represent a change. And what change? Meaning the pressure is off for Man United. Man United are expected to beat West Ham. A lot of people did not expect us to beat Crystal Palace yesterday. A lot of people didn't expect us to beat Crystal Palace yesterday. I, for one, I said 2-1. I'm glad I got it right. Again, of course, guys. But there you go. I mean, I had someone in the stream calling me delusional. We're never going to score 2 goals. And that's one thing about life, isn't it? It slaps you around the face like a wet sandal, guys. That is what life is about, especially football. Football's definitely like that. Football's like, slaps you around the face with it like a wet sandal, of course, guys. So what I would say is that, I would say delighted with the win, and we move on to the West Ham game, and hopefully that West Ham game will signify a change. Win against West Ham, who knows what can happen? We've got Wolves after that. I mean, there's a possibility here, guys. We've got a chance. We've got another opportunity. We've been given chances, guys, in this league. In this league, we've been given opportunities. Now, we're making our own sometimes. We're making our own opportunities, but we're not taking the opportunity. We're getting ourselves into position to have an opportunity, but when the opportunity arises, we're not taking the opportunity. So I hope that we can take the opportunity against West Ham, and we can move on, and we can get into that, solidify that top 4 position. Let's not forget, the top 5 is what I'm aiming for this season. Getting in that top 5, getting in the Champions League positions will set Man United up nicely for next season, and bringing in some good players, of course, guys, which will be absolutely fantastic going forward, of course, guys. So let me just say hello to the community. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Hope everyone is blessed, of course. Good morning, Kula. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Good morning, Devils. Very ugly win yesterday, but I take every win. We'll not be this lucky all season. We have, look, in life, Kula, let me tell you something about football, right? In life, you make your own. In football, you make your own luck. Man United were lucky in 1999. At the end of the day, you make your own luck. Let's not pretend that Man United's second half wasn't good. Man United played well in the second half. It's the first half that Man United weren't good. And let's also not pretend that Crystal Palace haven't been beaten at Selhurst Park since February. So it's not an easy win. It's not an easy win to do. And you're going to come under pressure. Every team, even Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, come under pressure. Liverpool lost there. I mean, you're going to come under pressure there. Come on, United. Big up, my friend. Big up. Hope you're doing well, guys. Hope you're good. Good to see you, Kenny. Hope you're blessed. Hi, you were right about Man United win. I told you, man. I told you not to be pessimistic, guys. I told you guys not to be pessimistic. Let the game play. Let's see what happens. Let the game play out, and don't predict, because you never know what happens with Man United these days, of course. Man United still need players. Man United need a lot of players in, mate. Absolutely. Big up, my friend. Hope we're doing nice background stuff. Nice. I mean, I'm in a cafe at the moment. I'm in a cafe. I've got my orange juice, as you can see. I've got my orange juice here. I'm just talking about Man United, as you do. Definitely. Big up everyone, guys. Big up Sniper Man. Poor first half yesterday. Amorim obviously gave them a good dressing down at half time and got the reaction back. Now, this is something, Benny, glad you mentioned that, because this is something that I want to raise. This is a subject that I want to raise, because Ruben Amorim won't get the credit for this, right? He won't. They say, oh, the players, it's the players. Oh, they won in spite of Ruben Amorim. They won in spite. This is something that I've heard quite a lot over this last 24 hours. In spite of Ruben Amorim. Now, in spite of their idiotic negativity, I'm still going to say that, you know what, at the end of the day, Ruben Amorim deserves applause. The players deserve applause. Of course, we give the players applause, but Ruben Amorim deserves applause because he done what a manager is supposed to do. He hyped up the players, and then in the second half, there's no coincidence, made that Man United came out like all guns blazing. How does that make sense? Tell me. That's the manager at the end of the day. We've seen it happen under Alex Ferguson numerous amounts of times over the years. Alex Ferguson's gone in half-time and gave the players a rollicking. And what happens? We come out in the second half and we score. Not least, Tottenham Hotspur, about 20 years ago, we were 3-0 down against Tottenham Hotspur at half-time, and then we ended up going and winning 5-3. Was that because of the players? Or was that because of Alex Ferguson? Alex Ferguson gave him a rollicking. Now, Ruben Amorim gave him a rollicking yesterday, and Ruben Amorim did his job. And Ruben Amorim contributed to Man United winning yesterday. Ruben Amorim is trying to work miracles. He's been thrown into a sword fight with a breadstick, and this is what's going on at the moment. To be honest with you, Ruben Amorim needs the tools, and if he's got the tools, it's pretty evident that he could be a great manager for Manchester United. You can see it. He's pulling out things from players that you don't expect it from, and if he's given the players that will help improve the squad, you're going to see a different Manchester United. Absolutely, you're going to see a team that will be challenging up there for the league title, trust me. Big up, Benny. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Why was the penalty being retaken? I thought that was a goal kick. I mean, I thought it was a goal kick as well. I've seen it I can't remember what it is for the life of me. I'm going to find it out, but I've seen it in another game where it was a double touch on the ball and the penalty wasn't retaken. It was a miss. It was counted as a miss, and then they go on with a goal kick. I don't know why different rules associate with Manchester United. I don't know why, but it's just the way it is, of course. Absolutely, I don't know why. Sniper Man Sal, I can't believe people are still being negative about this. Let's hope we don't put out Everton and chose West Ham at home. Yeah, look, obviously people are going to be negative because they made up their mind about Ruben Amorim and the egotistical nature of some of our fan base. I call them fans in quotas, of course, guys, the egotistical nature of our fan base is such that they won't change their opinion about the manager. Despite look, Ruben Amorim can go on a run now, win 20 games in a row, right? And they'll still find something to moan about. This is what we're talking about at the end of the day. This is what I've been talking about. They'll find something to moan about. Don't worry about that, because they don't want to be wrong. It's all about being right and wrong. Now, listen, I've said it numerous amounts of times. I would be wrong 1,000 times. I would happily be proven wrong 1,000 times if it meant Manchester United being successful. That's all I care about at the end of the day. I care about Man United being successful. Unfortunately, there are some people, content creators out there, that don't want to be wrong, don't want to be proven wrong. And to be honest with you, you could see signs with Ruben Amorim. I've seen it for a while now. But you can see signs, it's not perfect, but you can see signs that Ruben Amorim is doing it. Let me just have a look. That's it. You can see signs that Ruben Amorim is improving, and you can see signs that the team are getting more used to the formation. All we need now is a few signings in there. Look, I'm not going to criticise Xerxes, poor first half, but I'm going to give Xerxes my man of the match yesterday. I thought Xerxes was very good in the second half, and I'm so happy with Xerxes because he got that goal, and it meant a lot. And we have to remember that some of these players haven't played in a while. You know, I mean, when you haven't played for months and then you're expected to perform, it's very, very difficult when you're being thrown into the deep end. Match fitness is incredibly important. People underestimate how important match fitness is. Match fitness is so important, guys. And I would say that Xerxes impressed me yesterday in the second half. What he did yesterday was very, very good, and that's long may it continue. Long may it continue. That's what we need. We need players to be confident, and hopefully Xerxes can go into that West Ham game, get another goal, and then you never know where Xerxes can take it at the end of the day. It's not to say that we don't need strikers. We need squad depth. We don't have that. That's because of Ineos, as I've said 1,000 times. Of course, we do need squad depth, of course, but it was a double touch. Exactly. I don't know why it wasn't changed. Will change this season. Only when Man United are concerned, isn't it, Sniper Man? Big up, Lawrence. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Morning, we'll finally rotate Bruno for West Ham because he looks on the verge of serious injury. Well, he pulled his hamstring yesterday. I don't know what happened there, but he was holding his hamstring. We have to be very careful with players, of course, because the hammy we all know with Ryan Giggs. Those who remember, Ryan Giggs had a problem with his hamstring, and if you tear your hamstring, it's a very, very difficult one to recover from. Absolutely. Liverpool are finished. There you go. They won yesterday. Liverpool, didn't they? Just about Liverpool. Yeah, they won against West Ham yesterday. But to be honest with you, Liverpool, I don't see them as a threat. Goodness me, I see they're like, I mean, Barney the dinosaur's more scary than Liverpool at the moment, I would say. I mean, answers. Give me a comment what Liverpool are as scary as. Not scary at all. Kenny, Mazraoui being subbed on was a game changer. Guys, I would also say, one of the biggest game changers for me yesterday, I don't know what you feel about it, Licha Martinez coming on. I think that gave everyone a boost, guys. It gave everyone a boost when Licha Martinez came on. Absolutely fantastic. I absolutely agree with you. In regards to the game itself, I think that Mazraoui coming on the game did change the game quite well, of course, guys. Absolutely, Kenny. After yesterday's game really showed the lack of quality we have. If we have beat Everton, Forest and Spurs, with our 28 points, give Amorim the players he needs. Benny, look, Man United have proven that they can win at difficult places. We won at Liverpool, now we won at Crystal Palace, we beat Brighton, we beat Sunderland, right? When the pressure is on Man United, we seem to flourish. It's when the pressure is off, we seem to go into our shell. But you're absolutely right. Ruben Amorim does need players, and he needs it in January. And enough with the talk, enough with the buzzwords, enough with the PR. We need Manchester United and Ineos to sign some players for Ruben Amorim to succeed. And I said this at the beginning of the season, that we're going to be here in a couple of months talking about we need this, we need that, we need this. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's typical. We envisioned this. If we sign a couple of midfielders, if we sign a couple of wing backs, maybe Man United might be closer to the top of the league. Looking at the way we played. When you think about the games that we played this season, Fulham we should have won. Again, obviously, Nottingham Forest we should have won. Tottenham we should have won. And then you're looking at where we would be in the league right now. We would probably be way up that league right now, fighting with Arsenal. We're not that far away, guys. We are a few signings away from being fighting for the top of the league. And I'm not saying that being delusional, not got delusions of grandeur. At the end of the day, I think Man United are as closer than we all think. But he needs his signings in. Ruben Amorim is the right guy to take us forward. We just have to practice a little bit of patience, guys. And I say we, because I see Man United fans as a collective, right? We need to practice a little bit of patience, right? And we need to stop being so negative all the time. I know PTSD gets in the way. You know, a lot of us are a little bit disillusioned by what's going on this last 12 years, right? But let me tell you something. I said yesterday we're going to beat Crystal Palace. I said we're going to beat Liverpool. Of course I did, guys. Because at the end of the day, giving up is not... What's the point of giving up? What's the point of giving up? Might as well not even turn up. I might as well not do the watch-alongs, guys. Because at the end of the day, if you think we're going to lose, there's no point doing that. But many of us, thankfully, are staying on the positive, cautiously optimistic train, where we're optimistic but cautiously, but we're not totally negative. We're going to lose. You are delusional. And I heard that yesterday. And someone in the stream came in yesterday, I don't know if you remember, and said, you said we're going to win 2-1. You said we're going to score 2 goals. You're delusional. I mean, come on, guys. You know what I mean? And then, obviously, we all know what happened only a few minutes later. And this is what I'm talking about in football. Do you know what I mean? And the people just need to stay calm or just watch another sport, to be honest with you, because the way they go on is too negative, of course. Kenny. It was indeed a game of 2 halves. Yes, it always will be there. Shakti, what's going on, my friend? Hope you don't know. We need these continued wins. I think we'll have them more often this season, and we'll be in Europe for sure. Hopefully, Shakti, big up Shakti. How you doing, my friend? Hopefully, we will get in that position where in Europe, Man United deserve to be in Europe. The Champions League is nothing without Manchester United in Europe. It's boring. I'm fed up with talking about Arsenal. I'm fed up with talking about Chelsea. I'm fed up with talking about these irrelevant teams. These teams that feed off Manchester United and have fed off Manchester United for years and years and years. These teams that no one supported 20 years ago. Do you know what I mean? I'm tired of talking about them. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, and especially Chelsea, in particular Chelsea, they're like a manufactured team from Abramovich. You know what I mean? So when you look at these, you want the best teams in the Champions League. You want the best teams in Europe. Manchester United are one of those teams, right? One of those teams who built the Premier League, who built themselves organically without investment, right? But built themselves organically, and still building ourselves organically. You need Man United in Europe, because I'm being honest, guys. The Champions League has not been the same without Man United. Let's be real, guys. It's not been the same. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a hater or whatever, or I'm living in the past. I just don't think it's been the same. Absolutely not. Sniper Man, big up Sniper Man. You think Xerxes will start next game? Yes, I do. LT, big up LT. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Big up Sal. Happy for the second win. Big up LT. Good to see you, my friend. Hard performance taking advantage of Palace's fatigue from Europe. I hope Euro doesn't let. Look, I tend not to look at fatigue, LT, because I do believe that sometimes when you play in Europe, you can gain some kind of momentum in regards to your match fitness. Sometimes, as you can see, when Man United won the treble, we played every couple of days, like Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, and we were playing like all that. Sometimes it can have the adverse effect. I wouldn't like to use that as an excuse, because Tottenham played in Europe, and Tottenham played better than us in the second half last week, 2 weeks ago, of course. So, I tend to just look at what Man United did in the second half, and I think Man United did pretty well in the second half. We did good, and we move on from there. And we just take the advantage. We take it, of course we do. And what I would say is that bring on West Ham. Bring on West Ham. If we don't beat West Ham, then I think we might as well just pack it in. We might as well say, oh, this team's never going to do anything, because, if we go to Crystal Palace and we win against Crystal Palace, we go to Liverpool, we win at Liverpool, we beat Brighton, we beat Sunderland, we played well against Arsenal. If we don't go and play West Ham and beat West Ham at Old Trafford under the lights, what's the point, guys? West Ham are awful. Everton are awful as well. But guys, what we have to be wary of, and look, I will stress this from the beginning, West Ham will play with the low block. They will play 2 banks of 4. They will play with the low block, guys. Let's not forget what they're going to do. Absolutely. Good morning, Sam. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Hope everything is blessed with you. Good to see you. Amorim needs at least 3 players in this January transfer window. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely does, at least. Sniper Man, Amorim gave them a hairdryer treatment. I hope the same happened in the UEFA Champions League, UEFA League final. Well, no point even talking about that, because that's happened. That's been and done. Of course, guys, we can't change what happened in history, of course. Lawrence, what was the tweak Ruben Amorim made for the second half that people are talking about? I missed half the game. He didn't make any tweaks, mate. Like, at the end of the day, what he gave him a rollicking. That was a tweak. People want to do this thing, right? They want to do this thing where they want to blame the tactics, the formation, because they feel like Man United will play better with this formation. Man United play better. Ruben Amorim's changing. I told you, if Ruben Amorim changes, these good things are going to happen, and blah blah blah. I'm tired of that. He managed Manchester United. That's what he did. He gave them a rollicking. They came out in the second half and they played in the second half, and that's what happened, guys. Do you know what I mean? And people just want to downplay everything he does. I told you he will cook if he plays this formation. He will cook if he plays that formation. I'm tired of hearing it. Like he managed our season. That's it. It was Alvarez pen last year. That was it, mate. Yes. Atletico Madrid. I remember. Yes. Thank you, Slapperman. It was Atletico Madrid, and they didn't let him take the penalty, did they? It was a penalty shootout, wasn't it? Yeah, they didn't let him take the penalty. Yeah. Conveniently, they've changed the rules. You know, there you go. Just in time for Man United. Sal, the problem we have is that we don't really have quality players. We really need players. We have a quality manager. I think we have quality players, not enough. I think we're most of a quality player. Cunha's a quality player. Seska's a quality player. Of course, they didn't play yesterday, but they are quality players. Delict is a quality player. There's a couple of there. There's obviously we got some youngsters coming through who I think are very good as well. But we have got a lot of average. Of course we have. And this is no doubt, this is why Man United are not fighting at the top of the league, because we have got a lot of average players. But it's testament to Ruben Amorim that he can actually get the best out of his players, and he can contribute to Man United still being in touching distance of the Champions League places, you know, with that squad. I mean, I said it before the game. Luke Shaw's, the Dallots, these sort of players, and even though Dalot had a decent game yesterday, he's still not good enough to take Manchester United forward, you know, because you know that through past experience that these players will just down to at any given moment. They were down to at any given moment, and there you go, guys. Absolutely. Pick up Revert 7. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. The only way is over the top. He is young and currently not playing well. He's developing. In 2 years' time, when 22, 23 years old, he will be a much better player. Trust me. Revert 7, you don't need to tell me that, mate. He's going to be an absolute world beater in a couple of years' time, guys. So, but this is one thing that I spoke about yesterday. The Mandem talk. You know the Mandem talk? The Mandem talk. Right. The Mandem talk is a very illiterate, dumbed-down version of football opinion, okay? And there's a lot of people who call their shows Mandem. Right, so this is the Mandem talk. So whenever someone has a bad game, they go over the top and overboard with their criticism, a bit like Dorgu. Now, Dorgu didn't start the game yesterday because he was mentally anxiety. He had anxiety. He was mentally challenged yesterday because obviously the criticism that he's been given has been over the top. And of course, social media is rife, and social media is very, very big at criticising players. And there's a lot of Manchester United fans who are so quick to jump on players, you know, so soon. Mandem opinion, of course, guys, which is very short-term, very impatient, immature petulance. And to be honest with you, looking at Lenny Yoro was one of our better players last season. Let's not forget that. Absolutely. And we have to look at Lenny Yoro, that he's a young player, been thrown into the deep end, right? Just like Dorgu has been, you know, and some players don't even make their debut at his age. He's coming up to 100 games for Manchester United. Do you know what I mean? And this is what we're talking about at the end of the day. So we do it to ourselves sometimes. What we do it, not necessarily us. I mean, I'm speaking like, theoretically. We do it ourselves sometimes. We are our own worst enemy as a football club, because we should be looking after these players. We should be looking after Dorgu. We should be looking after Lenny Yoro. That's what we should be doing. Instead, there's people out there, social media, oh, Yoro, he's crap, he's this, he's that, he's this. I've seen it. You don't need to tell me that. I've seen it. And it's disgraceful, to be honest with you. We don't do that at Manchester United. If you feel this is the right way, the right approach to do things, I don't think people should be supporting Man United. I really don't, because we look after our young players. That's what we do, and we come from that. We're historically, you know, what we are. You know, we back our players at the end of the day. Absolutely, we do back our players. But Leach only came for 50 minutes yesterday. Yeah, but it's the way that Leach came on, it gave the team a boost. I think it actually got us over the line. When Leach came on, I think it actually got us over the line. I think the confidence seeing Leach come on, natural left-sided centre-back, by the way. Very, very, very positive news, of course. And it's good for me. Good morning, Irfan. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Mazraoui helped us look settled in defence the second half. Absolutely. I'm looking at the team now, Revert 7. I'm looking at Mazraoui, Leach and Delict. I think that should be the defence going forward. Let's give Lenny Yoro a little bit of a rest. Let's let him settle down, and we can bring these players in slowly and nurture them how we're supposed to be doing. Using these players is nurturing these players, of course. Absolutely, we're supposed to be nurturing these players. Good mornings, by the way, Sal. You are in a posh cafe. I'm in a cafe in a place called Sardinia Island in the Abu Dhabi. Yeah, very nice cafe. It's all right. Yeah. but it's nice. It's nice. I'm out and about today. Big up. Dave, good morning. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. What a turnaround. The first half was a dross. Second half, props to Amorim and the players. They did well. They silenced the Palace crowd and we sang so loud. Just fantastic, David. Well said. I think it's a collective. I think that the manager did very well yesterday and he deserves his call. He deserves his flowers. No one's going to do that, though. No one's going to do that. We are light switch FC. Maybe we need Arteta to come in the dressing room with a light bulb because we are light switch FC. Man United do switch it on sometimes and they do switch it off sometimes as well. You need someone on them. You know what we need? We need a Roy Keane on the pitch. That's what we need. Someone who's going to keep them going. Someone who's not going to let them switch off. And as soon as they switch off, they grab them by the scruff of the neck. You know, I don't think Bruno can do that. Bruno ended up having 2 assists. The rest of Bruno's game was atrocious, but I'm not going to talk about that. But he ended up having 2 technical assists and fair play. And we won the game, but we don't have a captain on the pitch. And this is why Man United tend to go missing 30, 40-minute spells. And this can't carry on. This is not sustainable. We need to find a way to combat this. We do need a Roy Keane sort of character in the game. Of course we do, but I don't think we have that at the moment. Of course, absolutely. Lawrence, Nuno set up West Ham well against Liverpool, but they have no teeth up front. Still, we have to be careful as they are a good coach and Bowen likes scoring against us. Bowen's an atrocious player. I don't know how he gets into the England squad. I would pick a number of players ahead of him in the England squad. I think there's a little bit of favouritism going there. He does have good games against Man United, as does everyone. As you know, David Moyes, his final was last week. He's won his final. Now he won't play for the rest of the season. This is what Everton and teams like that do, and West Ham. We got to take it upon ourselves to know what West Ham are all about. We know what West Ham are all about. They cost us 2 titles. Let's not forget. West Ham cost us 2 titles. Let's not forget that. Do you know what I mean? And look, there's no point beating Crystal Palace away, like I said against Liverpool, and like I said, if we're not going to go and beat West Ham at home, this is what we're talking about. You know, the West Ham game was not good, but it's just the way it is. LT. We really need to do business in January because it's clear our midfield is struggling, and to be honest, a leadership group can't be trusted. And for me, West Ham is the real test because they're similar to Everton. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about all show, LT. The West Ham game for me is a bigger test now than Crystal Palace because this is the game we're expected to win. Lots of people said we're not going to beat Crystal Palace. With Stretford Paddock, that fraud channel, they said that the most we're gonna get is a draw. No, this is the real place to be. The Stretford, the real Stretford, right? They can have the numbers from frauding people, but you know what I would say is that this is the real place to be. When we're talking about football, most we're gonna get is a draw. We heard it. Yeah, we heard it, man. You know what I mean? And some fake ass Ronaldo name, whatever his name is, Rolando. You know what I mean? Goodness me. So what I would say is that, yeah, look, you know, these people just too negative, man. Too negative. No, they need to, you know. But what I would say is that, yeah, West Ham is a bigger game. West Ham is a tough. Is a bigger game now because obviously what happened to Everton, you know. Sam, even if we sign 3 midfielders, it would still not be enough because area in the squad needs reinforcement. Man United need a lot of signings, Sam. Man United need about 6-7 more. They need about 6-7 more signings. They need wing backs. They need another centre back. Could be argued. You need another two midfielders. We need another striker. Lots to be done. Dave, it's good that we got the win yesterday. I had to take a lady and a young brother to watch the Chelsea Arsenal game. I sat there while driving, listening to them glaze Arsenal like a donut. Now Arsenal. There's a lot of Arsenal backside kissing at moment, but they drew 10 men Chelsea yesterday. We beat Chelsea. This is what I'm talking about, Man United. You know what I mean? Xerxes will not be a star as long as Ahmad creates that conundrum. If it was a good conflict causing a selection headache for Ruben Amorim, it will be a good for us. But Ahmad is a headache, not a solution. Ahmad as a right wing back is not the right choice for me. I've said that for a long time now, Irfan, that Ahmad is not a wing back, he's a winger. And I do think there's been a lot of overhype in regards to him. I didn't see a good performance from him yesterday. I'll be honest, he's young. I'll give him that. Again, I'm not going to jump down his throat. But Man United do need quality. Man United need better quality in areas, and that is throughout the team. You know, we're relying on moments at the moment. Like the game against Nottingham Forest was a moment, a great goal from Ahmed, by the way. The game against Tottenham was a moment, and yesterday were moments. And it wasn't like, you know, intricate play, great team play, and blah blah blah. It was like, wow. When Xerxes scored, it was like, wow. You know, look, At the moment, we have no other choice. This is exactly what we're talking about with the Ineos and the Glazers. We have no choice. He has to play Ahmed there. He has to play Dalot there. He has to play Dorgu there. He has to do it. He's got no choice. He's not got his squad. He's not got the team that he wants. What do people expect of him? It's like Cristiano Ronaldo said, they're expecting miracles. It's true. People are expecting miracles of him with the players that he's got. He's got literally 20, 30% his players. You know what I mean? And what can he do? He can only play what he has. Who else was going to play at right back yesterday? You know, answers on the postcard. You know, this is what we're talking about at the end of the day. You know, Mazraoui is not a right back; he's a full back, and he can't move forward. He's more of a centre back than a right back. So it's like playing Steve Bruce as a right back. It's not going to work. You know, we have to be honest with ourselves, guys. And Man United need a lot of reinforcements going on. Dalot played a right yesterday, but imagine if we had a proper specialist left wing back, mate. We will be challenging, mate. Honest to God. Honestly, we had like how do you say it? What's that player's name? You know, if we had a proper, let's just say, if we had a proper specialist left wing back and a right wing back, we'll be all right, mate. Don't worry about that. And the midfield. It was just a kick, nothing serious. Amorim confirmed, but Amorim himself looked sick yesterday because of the weather. Some said he won't be on a touchline for the next game. Well, I'm not surprised. Lots of stress. In the first half, if Ineos didn't know, really highlighted how we lack quality profiles that are more clinical. Absolutely. We really need to recruit better since the top four is very achievable. Dave is very crucial, my friend. It's very, very crucial, Dave. He's spot on. This shouldn't be something to be happy about. This should be something to say, right, what do we need to do now? Where do we go now? What do we need to do now? Where do we go? How do we improve this team? How do we get in that top four? This is what the board should be doing now. Right, we're on touching distance. Look, guys, before we move away, we need to improve this squad. Because right now we are in touching distance of the top four. And this is what we have to. We have to ensure that we get in that top four, of course. Big up. So I'm just taking a sip of orange juice, of course. Sam, he needs to start Xerxes in the next match to boost his confidence even more. I agree, Sam. You know, there's nothing better than a striker that has confidence. You know what I mean? Once a striker has confidence, they can go on a run. And let's hope that he can go on a run. We all know that Xerxes is a good player. You won't play for Bayern Munich and teams like that, or or get Bologna into the Champions League for the first time in their history if you were a bad player. And he was Bologna's player of the season, and he was in the Serie A team of the season. So you know what? You're not a bad player overnight. Confidence, especially strikers, confidence is so important. I think people tend to take away feelings and the spiritual side of football. They tend to look at things in the physical form in football. They don't look at how the player's feeling. They don't look at, is he stressed? You know, they look at, he should be playing. He's got to play well. He's got to cross there. He's got to do this. We're very, very shallow these days in regards to football opinion, and we lack empathy in regards to our football opinion as well. That these are human beings, you know. And I would love Xerxes to play next game against West Ham and score a goal. You know what I mean? Let's not forget. You know, we bought him because he was a talented player, started very well his career, scored a goal against Fulham. Remember, over a year ago, of course. Big up, Sam. Yeah, I agree. The first half was a shambles. The Ligt was all over the shop, and we were lucky not to only goal down. But in the second half, the team played with more intensity. Absolutely. Dave, people should really calm down with the Euro slander. He was already hard on himself and disappointed with the foul. We should back him as his support. And one thing I will say, Dave, I want to applaud Mason Mount. I want to applaud Mason Mount, not only for the goal, but after the game, Mason Mount approached Lenny Euro and put his arm around him. And he said, don't worry, lads, we got you, bro. And this is how we should do things as a collective. As Manchester United, because this is what we are. We need to collectively put our arm around our young players and say, don't worry, lads, we've got this. Do you know what I mean? That's what we need to do. That's what we used to do. We don't do this anymore. We're very critical, and we throw him in about, he's shit, he's this. We get angry at the time. You know, that's terrible. That. But we don't go over the top. We don't go, blah, blah, blah. It just happens. That's life. It happens. He slipped. That happens. Life happens. You know what I mean? That's it. So everyone can slip. We all slip. I've slipped. I've slipped in the middle of the public. You know what I mean? And my coffee went up in the air. Things happen. We're human beings. It happens in life at the end of the day. You know, I decided to wear shoes when I went out on an icy day. I slipped. That's my fault. That's life. Human beings. We make mistakes at the end of the day. And what we have to do, we have to understand that he's a very good defender, future French international, will be a great player for many, many years to come. And this is exactly what Ruben Amorim was touching on yesterday, the day before yesterday, about Dorgu, about how his anxiety, he's anxious. And he wouldn't mention it, but he basically spelled it out for us. He spelled it out for us that he was anxious because of, you know, the fans, basically, the social media criticism and stuff like that. And this, I do not want people to go on top of Lenior. You can see how disappointed he was yesterday, how upset he was yesterday. And I applaud Mason Mount for putting his arm around Lenior yesterday. And you know what, giving them a little bit of confidence. And it's up to us as Manchester United fans to give our young players confidence, guys. We will be rewarded. We will be rewarded, trust me. Irfan, if it is a foul, it should not be retaken and chalked off, similar to a foul throw-in. Yeah, absolutely, the foul throw-in is forfeited and retaken by the opposition. Exactly, Irfan. Now, obviously, Sniper Man just told me today that they changed the rules. I mean, last season there was an episode where Atletico Madrid player was a penalty shootout. He took the penalty, he double kicked it. It wasn't retaken. It was counted as a miss. So, I mean, I don't know if this is clarified, but apparently they changed the rules. I think it's stupid. I agree with you, Irfan, that it should be retaken. It should be a goal kick. That's what it should be, and that's it. I thought it would be that. Unfortunately, that. But guys, look at it. Look at it in this way. Look at it in a positive way. We had adversity against us yesterday. It shouldn't have been a penalty. It was an accidental slip. What happened to accidental foul? It's an accident. You know, so at the end of the day, that shouldn't have been a penalty anyway, because it's an accident. Do you know what I mean? Just like when you accidentally handball it, it's not a penalty. You know what I mean? If someone kicks the ball to your arm, it's not a penalty, it's an accident. And this is what we're talking about. So even with the adversity against us yesterday, we managed to pull out a win. And I think that is what's the most important thing, what I saw yesterday. We pulled out the win, and I'm happy about that, of course. Mandem Talk, love to make agendas. So Mandem Talk is basically like watching Barney the Dinosaur. Again, mentioned him a few times today. Barney the Dinosaur talking about football. Mandem Talk is like a very dumbed down version of football opinion, right? Mandem Talk. Listening to Mandem talking about football is a bit like trying to I don't know, squeezing water from a stone in the world of knowledge of football. Now, look, at the end of the day, when you look at them, nah, bro, he's a fraud, bro. You know, we were lucky, bro. We know what they're doing. You know what I mean? And I know, because I come from that environment. I come from the East End of London. I come from the Mandem areas and stuff like that. And when I look at football, and when I listen to their version of football, they could do two things, right? They come up with a very, very agenda-driven opinion of football, or they scream. There's two things: bad agenda football, screaming. No, guys, when you have to scream to make your opinion, when you have to shout to make your opinion, basically you lost the argument, right? You lost the argument. Now, like, if you have to raise your voice to make a point, you've lost the argument. At the end of the day, and that's what I would say about everything in regards to everything, opinions, everything in life, guys. Absolutely. Mandem Talk is a dumbed down version, and they none of them understand what Man United is. None of them understand the history of Man United. None of them, you know, and the fact that our history is everything. It tells you everything. There's not one Man United fan I know who goes on these channels, right? I haven't met one yet. I've been on various channels. I haven't seen one yet. I haven't spoken about one yet in regards to real Man United fans. You know what I mean, who understand the football club. I really don't. You can throw anyone at me, and I'll tell them about the birds and the bees, about being a Man United fan. I'm the realest Man United fan they've ever had on their channel or any other channel, because, you know, at the end of the day, I've got more knowledge, in-depth knowledge about the football club. I know people at the football club. I know people in the football club. I can make phone calls right now. I get a ticket for any game I like, guys, at the end of the day, because I know people in the football club, and I have known people in the football club for over 30 years. Right? And this is the thing, right? And when people talk about the club and they talk about what is, what isn't, and this and that, it's just such dumbing down a football opinion. And I'm tired of it, to be honest with you, because supporting this football club, it's not just about winning. It's not just about success. That's part of it, right? It's not just about success. It's about our adversity as well. Man United came from adversity. You know, they reached the stars from adversity. You know, and that's where Man United come from. And we will get there again, guys. I've said it many, many times. Man United will get there again. We will be up there again. Absolutely. Believe me. Big up, Kenny. Mazraoui's subs seem to be significant. I wasn't impressed with Palace at the same time. In Bremo, quiet without Cunha and Sesko. Yeah, look, if anything, guys, it proved yesterday how important Cunha and Sesko are, isn't it? They've had a lot of criticism, haven't they? But look how important they are to the team. But you know what I would say? All I can say is Crystal Palace haven't lost at Selhurst Park since February, and we beat them. And that's great. Rebound 7. Some social media reds are reveling the downfall is disgraceful. I mean, this is what it is, reverse, and absolutely. Do you know what I mean? They're not Man United fans. And I would argue that with everyone. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, they're not Man United fans. They don't know nothing about Man United. And it kind of clarified for me nearly a year ago when the great Sir Bobby Charlton passed away. Dennis Law and Bobby Charlton, by the way. But they didn't mention them in their shows. You know, how can you claim to be a Man United fan when adversity happens to your football club, you do not mention it in your streams? Think about that. Think about that for a second and then analyze that. What that is, it's crazy. Absolutely, Dave. Big up, Dave. Big up, Revert 7. Good to see you back, my guy. Always great to see you, mate. Dave, West Ham really looked toothless up front this Thursday. Let's hope they win and hopefully. But you know what happens, Dave, and this is something that Man United needs to combat, is the 2 banks of 4 low block football that we struggle against now. Crystal Palace, like Liverpool, like Brighton, only know how to play one way, which is attacking, right? Crystal Palace do play through at the back, but they play kind of attacking at home. You know, they had to go out, they had to try and attack. So they're a home team. They had the incentive. They're at home, they have to attack. So basically, what West Ham will do, they will say, okay, what has been successful at Manchester United? Low block. And they're going to go there for the low block. So we need to know how to combat that low block. We struggled with that. We really have struggled with the low block, and hopefully we don't struggle with the low block anymore, guys, because when Everton played last week, it was 2 banks of 4, and that's what we struggled with, the 2 banks of 4. And I hope that, Man United find a way to overcome that, because if we don't beat West Ham, what's the point of us even being here, guys? It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Benny. Interesting to see other game or all the players straight over to Leach and celebrate. Absolutely, Benny. Love it, my friend. Love it. LT, Mazraoui best at right centre back, not wing back, and he should rotate with Euro to protect him and Leach out in the back, crucial, because him and Mazraoui are comfortable stepping into midfield. It's only good for us, LT, isn't it? It's only good for us going forward. We're, having these experienced players back, it's only going to help Manchester United, And I guarantee you, if Mazraoui and Leach started against West Ham, we're going to win the game, and we can be much more solid. The great thing about Leach Martinez that we've missed is the fact that Leach Martinez can get that ball and he can move the ball forward into midfield. I think that's what's good about Leach Martinez. Having Leach Martinez back is fantastic news, going forward. I'm really happy about that, because, it doesn't only fix Man United's defence, it fixes Man United going forward in midfield and being a more of a creative force, if you know what I mean. Absolutely. And that is great news, of course. Having him back and having him as Rory Brigger. Big up, Tyrell. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Hope everything is blessed with you. Hope everything is good with you. Good morning, Ephraim. How you doing, my friend? Good morning. In the second half, performance was good. We need to build on it. Absolutely. Benny. We need about 6 or 7 leaders of quality, and then maybe we can integrate them of our academy players into the squad. Young players need leaders. Absolutely. We do need leaders. We ain't got enough leaders on the pitch, and this is why Man United seem to go missing for 20, 30, 40-minute spells in games, because we don't have players. We don't have someone on the pitch who can say, oi, no down tooling here. Don't down tool, and grab them by the scruff of the neck like Roy Keane used to do. We don't have anything like that at the moment. You know what I mean? This is the big problem. Dave. Let's really fight for this top 4 last season. We saw Chelsea a scumbag, a European finish. Let's do the same. The funds will help us immensely in the transfer window. Let's hope so, David. Fingers crossed, mate. Let's fingers crossed we fix this. We fix the team. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Dave, in our back 3, since Leacher is now back, he will take Luke Shaw's place, or will Shaw maintain the position as a starter? Leacher has to take his place, because Leacher is a natural left-sided centre-back. Shaw is not a left-sided centre-back. Shaw is a left-back. But Shaw can't play left-back because his legs are gone. So Shaw needs to be sold. It's as simple as that. Leach Martinez all day, slowly integrating the team. Will he start against West Ham? Probably not. He'd probably be on the bench, because obviously we have to slowly move him into. Remember, he's been missing a year. We don't want to get him injured again. Absolutely. The last thing we want to do is get Leach Martinez injured again, of course. Absolutely. Revert 7. Confidence is important after scoring that a goal. Xerxes played a blind at every touch and pass he pulled off with perfection. Absolutely. Big up. Especially in the second half. Real Jarley, big up, Jarley. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. It was a good day last night. The win made me feel amazing. I'm glad to hear that, my friend. And with 3 hours later, Viking Stunga ends up winning the Norwegian League. Congratulations to Viking. Big up Viking, of course. Big up. 34 years. Wow, is it 34 years since Viking won the league? Wow, flipping heck. I actually remember it, to be honest with you. I'm getting really, really old. I'm getting really, really old, trust me. I remember it, early 90s. Goodness me, they were in the Champions League. I remember them vaguely. You know what I mean? LT, we need a Nuno Mendes type player at wing back, absolutely, and we need another striker because every time he has a striker injury, we never have a proper number 9. Absolutely replacement, but most important, removal players. Remember, there's no substitute for having a lot of strikers. Some teams have 3 or 4 strikers. You need so many strikers in the team. We have 1, right? 1 or 2. On a good day, guys. And yeah, you're absolutely right. We do need to fix the strike position as well. Absolutely. Revert 7, the players better not be complacent on Thursday now. Yeah, look, listen, when I think about Thursday, I've got mixed feelings, Revert 7. I'm excited, but I'm also very apprehensive and very, like, kind of angrily. I feel a little bit angry because I can feel the anger in me right now that if we don't beat bloody West Ham, I'm going to be fuming. Of course, I'm going to look at context if we go down to 10 men and, like, God forbid and stuff like that. But if we don't beat West Ham, I am going to be fuming, guys. I'm going to be absolute nutty, guys, because you know what? We're winning the hard games at the moment, you know. Morning, Sal. I thought Casemiro played well and won the midfield battle yesterday. Fair play to Casemiro. Now, guys, look, you know, one thing I would say, big up Dan, by the way, one thing I would say is that out of the players we've played so far in regards to the midfield that we're being linked with, okay, we played against Baleba, we played against Adam Wharton, and we played against Anderson. Who has impressed you the most? Anderson, right? Anderson has been the best player so far, I think. Absolutely. Irfan, I'm happy with the way we are right now. It is now up to each other player to compete for his place. Absolutely. Justify why you must start. Mount is a good example. No glory hunting, just a pure and honest effort. Absolutely. Irfan, it's all we can ask for, Irfan, isn't it? A team that fights for the badge. That's what we want. And there's been too many occasions where the game is finished and we haven't felt like they fought for the badge, you know, sadly. And hopefully now things will move forward. We keep going into that 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. Hopefully we can go a further steps forward on Thursday, of course, guys. It's a short turnaround, of course. West Ham United at home, of course, should win under the lights. I hope so anyway. Guys, would love to see Aiden Heaven start against West Ham United on Thursday. Yeah, I would love that as well. I think Licha Martinez has more chance to start there. Absolutely. Benny, yeah, guys, come on. 33 likes so far, guys. Please get up to 50. Can we get up to 50? We've got 60 in the house at the moment. Can we get up to 50 likes before the end of the show, guys? If we can do that, it'd be absolutely fantastic. Big up. Dan, Sal, it felt like the push for top 4 European places yesterday. We go again midweek. Got to keep that winning mentality at this crucial time. Absolutely, Dan, spot on. Can't agree more, my friend. Can't agree more. LT, the January window will be crucial to our race for Europe, and if we get Europe without backing in January, then Amorim deserves respect because as much as he has flaws, he's working with the Finn squad. Every manager has flaws, LT. This is the thing. Every manager has flaws. Alex Ferguson had flaws. You know, this is it. You know, at the end of the day. Especially when you haven't got the squad that you want, especially when the players are not yours. These was it Xerxes, Cunha, in Bremo, and Lemons is his. That's it. You know, and that's where we go from there, of course, guys. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, he hasn't been backed. He's had like a 4 out of 10 window at the end of the day, isn't he, guys? But absolutely. But my man of the match yesterday, I'm going to say my man of the match, guys, because my man of the match yesterday was Xerxes, and the reason I say Xerxes is because I think he deserves it. I think he deserves the man of the match accolade yesterday, you know, because I felt that, you know, all the pressure that's been on him and the adversity that's been on him, you know, to come in and score a goal like that, it was a good finish, guys. I know that Henderson arguably could have saved it or whatever, I don't care. But I felt that Xerxes did very, very well, you know, absolutely. Shooting from an impossible angles is disrespecting your teammates who are in a better position. It seems to be an age-old illness amongst certain players. Bruno Fernandes was one of them, yes. Shooting from impossible angles. Ahmad is another one, shooting from impossible angles. One thing I would urge Ahmad to do, right? I would urge Ahmad to stop taking it upon yourself. Look at your teammates. Guys, because at the end of the day, you're just gonna make it worse for yourself. Look, I've been critical of Ahmed, and I'm openly critical of him because he reminds me of like an Aaron Lennon sort of player. And when I look at Ahmed, I look at the top 10 in the Premier League. How many of those top 10 in the Premier League would Ahmed play on the right? You know what I mean? I thought Lamens was good at defending penalty spot. Yeah, Ahmad's brilliant. Lamens is brilliant. Lamens I've been speaking about for over a year now, before it became a popular narrative to speak about Sonny Lamens. And I'm so glad he's proven me right. I'm so glad. I'm happy. I'm delighted with Sonny Lamens. He's been brilliant. Hey, big up Nora. What's going on, Noah? What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well, Nora. Good to see you again. Long time no see, brother. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, of course. And really, I'm delighted to see you, mate. Hope you're blessed. Hope you enjoyed the game yesterday. Big up yourself. Absolutely. But yeah, we got a few players in this squad right now who are going to be mainstays in the Man United team for a long time to come, many years to come. I'm all for it. Having a goalkeeper between the sticks for a long time, consistently, is only going to help Manchester United at the end of the day. And this is how we look at things, isn't it? It's only going to help Man United, and we move forward in regards to that. Of course, in regards to the goalkeeper, we won't need to worry about that anymore. Of course, we've got Onana coming back in the summer, so hopefully he will be shipped out quickly. Hopefully he will be shipped out quickly, guys. Absolutely. Hopefully he will. But look, guys. Let's wait and see what happens, guys. Absolutely, guys. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, guys, what I would say about you, all you beautiful people, by the way, you're all legends in my eyes, guys. What I would say is that I'm delighted with the win yesterday, and I want to thank everyone who carries on supporting the channel and carries on supporting this great community. And yes, that we have some idiots who come in the channel sometimes during watch-alongs. In particular, it's very rife during watch-alongs, and the community won yesterday because many of us were saying we can do it, we got this, we can do it, and we kept a little bit positive. We weren't negative, we were positive, we kept going, and we were rewarded yesterday. And every single Man United fan deserves it, because especially those people who've been looking at football, not in such always in a negative way. We've been looking at football and Manchester United in a hopeful way, in a supportive way, and we understand the job that is at hand. We understand the context and stuff. I don't want people coming on here and saying Man United are no longer a big club, because that's an absolute lie. Man United are a big club. We are the biggest club, one of the biggest clubs in the world. We aim to be the best. I've had people come on the channel and say we should just accept that we're not a big club anymore. So-called Man United fans. Disgraceful. If you think like that, don't support Man United. Man United are the Bayern Munich, the Real Madrid, the PSG of England, and we should be challenging. And hopefully we will be very soon, guys. And you know what will make it much more sweeter? Is when Man United actually win a league again. And we will be here together, guys, celebrating. And I'll tell you what, when we do win the league, guys, we'll all go to Manchester and we'll link up together and we'll celebrate and watch the open bus parade, of course, guys. Absolutely. Jale. Onana, he has been saying he will come back and fight for his place. Both Vitek and Lamens will be ahead of him, yeah. Delusions of Ganja again. I mean, at the end of the day, Onana, thank you, but no thank you. That's it. I have nothing against the lad, but he cost us Europa League. He cost us many games last season. I estimated 20 plus points he cost us last season. You know what I mean? Benny, if you don't think Man United aren't a big club, you're headed. I mean, I don't know whether they support Man United or not. I don't know what they drink or whatever, but I don't want to hear that. Then Man United are not a big club, because I mean, at the end of the day, you don't come on there pretending to be a Man United fan if you don't know what Man United are. And that's what I'm saying. There's people who, who sacrifice themselves for this football club. Many big people who sacrificed themselves for this football club and got us to the level that we are right now. So they're standing on the shoulders of giants. What are we going to say? Forget that. Forget the work they did. Forget about their European Cup win. Forget about that. No, we don't do that. Not Man United at the end of the day. LT, Xerxes showed he has a strong mentality, because even last season we got subbed. First half against Newcastle, we just worked hard and became very, very important for us, and we need more players like these. Absolutely, my friend LT, I agree. Dan, seeing Shaw sub for Licha was a beautiful sight, even though, I mean, everyone raised, isn't it? Everyone had enthusiasm. We're buzzing again, isn't it? At the end of the day, guys, absolutely. Charlie, I did see a clip of you talking to that Liverpool supporter who is a little out there. I was wondering if he was drunk when he called us irrelevant. He's a Liverpool supporter. Hussam, Hussam is a brother, and I got a lot of love for Hussam. But unfortunately, not everyone is perfect. And being a Liverpool fan, is his downfall. Unfortunately, I can't say nothing. I can only sympathise with Sam. You know, I can only sympathise with him. But what I would say is that, you know what, I don't wish him the best in regards to Liverpool. I wish him the best in his future endeavours, but not with Liverpool. I'm a Man United fan, and he's always going to banter Man United. I'm always going to banter Liverpool, and that's the way it should be, guys. Absolutely. Sal, you know me of the opinion that is the manager needs to go ASAP because he is not showing the style of play. Doesn't work with me. Might be Crystal Palace. Does it change everything? No, it doesn't. Noah, I'm going to correct you here. You're speaking a very, very man-dem sort of talk. To be honest with you, it does change things. It does change things. Beating Crystal Palace haven't lost at Selhurst Park since February. He's not got any of his players. Guys, I want you to understand this. He's not getting any of his players. You need to get off those side channels and all that, my friend, because it's damaging, it's squashing your brain a little bit. So what I would say is that, no, it's not true, guys. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's silly. It needs to go ASAP. Guys, another one that needs to understand what Man United is all about. But yeah, anyway, never mind. That's your opinion, Noah. Wouldn't say I respect it. Big up. Yeah, look, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, people can have their opinions about the manager, but at the end of the day, the manager's been thrown into a fight with a breadstick. That's what's happened, guys, and they don't understand that. You know, they're just feeding into, you know, the Rants and the Saids and all them people who continue to splurt nonsense. Don't listen to that, because I'm a proper Man United fan for 40 years. I've seen it all. I've won it all. You know what I've seen? 13 titles. 13. So shouldn't it be me who's been calling for the manager's head? As soon as I know what success is, I know what levels is. No, because I understand context, understand culture, understand that. I don't just say, oh, it's the manager's fault because the manager's the front page of the book. I don't do that. Do you know what I mean? I look at the ownership, I look at the play, I look at the board. That's what I look at. You know what I mean? You need to like just be a little bit more patient. And what I would say is that you know, it doesn't change everything winning one game, but we've beaten Liverpool away, we've beaten Brighton, we've beaten Sunderland, we're in the touching distance of the top four. We get in the top four this season. What are you going to say? That's progress, isn't it? At the end of the day, then we can move on from there. Absolutely. But as I said, man-dem talk. That's the man-dem opinion. You know what that means? The man-dem. You know what I mean? Need to stop that. Because listening to man-dem opinion is like listening to a dog basically speak about Man United, and I'll get more knowledge from a poodle than them. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. But guys, I want to thank everyone for joining me today. Really, really appreciate you. Thank you guys for joining me. Guys, thank you. Good morning, Saviour. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good morning, Saviour's coming back to the second half. Good to see the players fighting for the win. That's what you guys. You know what happened, Noah? You know what happened? It's called 2 banks of 4. We beat Arsenal with 10 men. There you go. Absolutely. We beat Arsenal with 10 men. Play 2 banks of 4. It's not easy to break it down sometimes. There you go. Noah, you're being embarrassing at the moment, mate. You're embarrassing, mate. Support your football club, man. That's all I say. Sure, I only played 300 games in 10 years. He should have. I mean, I've been supporting Man United when you weren't born, Noah. You know what I mean? So just be quiet. Shaw played 300 games in 10 years. He should be about that amount, and most of their appearances are during the Euro and European Cup seasons. Charlie, Palace has been very good this season, so getting 3 points there, granted. I mean, if you're coming on this channel to be negative right now, I think you shouldn't support Man United. I'm telling you to stop supporting Man United. As someone who's respected at Man United, stop supporting Man United. I don't want you. Absolutely. No, I think he's 5. The sun is always blinding in players' eyes. Absolutely. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'm Sal Warner. This is Breaking Dawn. I will see you later. Have a great day, great evening, great night, wherever you are in the world. I'll see you later. Put your notifications on. Don't forget to smash a like. Take it easy. Take it. Bye.